Louis Sullivan was a well-known architect in Chicago in the late 1800s. His work influenced modern architects in certain forms like vertical rises in Chicago. Louis Sullivan and Dexter Adler also extended the memory of the World Exposition Fair with their ideas. Louis Sullivan was born on September 3rd, 1856, and died on April 14th, 1924. He was born in Boston and briefly attended Massachusetts Institute of Technology studying architecture. He dropped out after the first year to work in Philadelphia. After the Great Fire in Chicago, he moved west to help rebuild the city. In 1879, he joined the firm of Dexter Adler. Sullivan worked as an architect in Chicago, and most of his works and designs are in the city. Many of the buildings that he created were located downtown. Louis Sullivan's most outstanding achievement was when he completed 7 designs between 1913 and 1914. He designed houses, theaters, and office buildings. Louis Sullivan's work was influential to both architects in his time and modern architects as well. Louis Sullivan was the author of a book called Autobiography of an Idea. One of the main ideas he shared is form follows function. He said form ever follows function. He meant that the design of a building is tied to the purpose of the building. This idea has become a part of architecture and modern design. Although buildings like the Carson Pirie Building have flowery designs and decorations, Sullivan felt a building's design should represent a purpose. Louis Sullivan was so smart that he created new ways to build tall commercial buildings. He did that by using steel frame construction and light materials such as terracotta. Rather than emphasizing the horizontal layers of certain buildings in Chicago, he stressed the importance of the vertical rise. John Wood designed the Monadnock building with a steel frame and windows that draw vision upward. Another architect that followed his ideas is Mies van der Rohe. His buildings use strong vertical lines to emphasize the height of the buildings. Louis Sullivan made some really outstanding buildings in Chicago, and one of those outstanding buildings that he created was a building called the Auditorium, which is located downtown. Louis Sullivan was the main designer, but he did get some engineering help from Dexter Adler. The auditorium was opened in 1886 and closed in 1890. Then it reopened in 1975. The auditorium is where a lot of famous people have performed. When it first opened, it was used for opera performances and political events. Now it is where the Joffrey Ballet performs. Other modern performing groups like Alvin Ailey Group have performed there as well. The auditorium was completed over 100 years ago and is still standing. The auditorium has survived for more than 100 years because the building was designed with strong outer walls with many layers that hold the building up. The rock is really thick and really strong. When you go there, you will see how heavy the building is and how much weight the granite walls are supporting. The auditorium was built by a group of businessmen to house a large opera house. Dagmar Adler and Sullivan planned to build a building that included the theater, offices, and hotel. The hotel, which is now Roosevelt University, faced Michigan Avenue. The offices were placed to the west on Wabash Avenue. The entrance to the auditorium is on the south side beneath the tall 17-story tower. The rest of the building is 10 stories, organized in the same way at Richardson's Marshallville wholesale store. It is still a useful building today. Its design represents its purpose. Although he was not one of the main designers of the World Expo in Chicago, Louis Sullivan extended the memory of the World's Fair with his work in the city. Louis Sullivan is famous for creating a unique style and monuments that embraced natural forms, an idea that started in the World's Fair. His innovation in architecture proved Chicago could continue to design great buildings even after the fair was finished. When people see the Carson Pirie Building or visit the Auditorium Theater, they remember the beautiful buildings of the World's Fair. And that is mainly how Louis Sullivan impacted Chicago with his outstanding buildings.